Hello, listeners. This is Kat, and welcome back to Put Your Hands Up Podfics. This will be the continuation of Call Our Crimes a Work of Art. This will be Part 8, Chapters 15 and 16. Chapter 15. If you ask Hisashi Yamada if he has a favorite student, he would say no. He's a teacher. He's not supposed to have a favorite. But he'll admit there are some students who he likes. And Midoriya Izuku is one of them. He knew from day one that there was something there, a predator waiting to come out, hidden behind the stuttering and anxiety. After all, Hisashi does the same. Everyone forgets how smart he is. They think Sho is the brains. He's not. By no means is his husband stupid, don't get him wrong, but Hisashi is slightly smarter. They have a bet going about how long they think it'll take people to figure him out. The only one that has is Nomuri, and Nezu already knew. But like recognizes like, that's how Midoriya knew he would be a good recruit. When he realized that they were doing heroes versus villains, he was going to suggest Midoriya for the villain side, let the predator out for a bit. But he didn't need to. All Might beat him to it. And well, who are they to question All Might when it comes to Midoriya? So he seconded, and Shota agreed with them. Hisashi thought he was going to have to wait till the actual exam to see what Midoriya could do, but no. The kid had recruited him, and Shota. He gets VIP access backstage to the show. And what a show it is. Shooting lessons for all of them. Sniper lessons for Shota and Hatsume. Experimenting with binoculars and Shota's quirk. Who knows if it would work through some enhancements but not others. Reflective lenses in Shota's goggles and a shit ton of hair gel for him. A capture weapon for Hitoshi. Semi-automatic paint guns for all of them. Sniper rifles for their snipers. And bombs full of red paint. A voice changer for Midoriya. Hisashi isn't sure why he needs that, but he won't question it. First aid lessons with Recovery Girl, and lessons on viruses where Shota sneaks a sample of something. Hisashi doesn't even want to know. Midoriya has them watching videos on applying makeup to disguise themselves. Hisashi proves to be very good at that. With Momo and Nato producing makeup and medical equipment, they're doing pretty good. Watching Hatsume hack into the schematics for the training ground is frankly scary. But now they have maps, and they go over every inch of them. Maps of the city, each building in the city, the roads, alleys, side streets, rooftops, even the sewers. Hisashi freshens up on his knowledge of the law. Midoriya learned all of their favorite foods and had those packed in with their provisions. They learned his and insisted he request them too. Hatsume produces weapon after weapon, and once they have the functional version, their two suppliers make more and more of them. Midoriya tosses Momo's book out day one, giving her an arm-mounted tablet. And Hisashi definitely loves his new suits. They go over their first attack objectives. Hisashi has never been afraid of a student. Never. But finding out 4 or more objectives at once, that terrifies him. They can do it. They know they can. But still, you only go after 4 objectives at once if you intend to overwhelm the heroes. Hisashi is super proud. So, shall we have a pool for this assignment tomorrow? Nomuri breaks him out of his thoughts. What? A betting pool. I suppose it couldn't hurt, All Might says. It would be unfair of Khan and I to bet, Cementos says. Not really, Nezu says. Come on, let's go. All Might, what do you say? I'll put 100,000 yen on the villain team winning. That's it? I promised young Midoriya that I wouldn't bet more than that if there was a bet, All Might says, rubbing the back of his head. I made no such agreement, Aizawa says. 200,000 yen on the villain team. Same, 200,000 yen for the villains, Hisashi adds. Nomuri stares at them and seems to consider it and then says, 150,000 yen on the villains. Nezu cackles as he places his own 250,000 yen on the villains. Snipe isn't quite so bold and only puts 50,000 yen on the villains. Recovery Girl smirks knowingly as she places 100,000 yen bet for the villains. 13, Lunch Rush, and Hound Dog abstain, leaving Ectoplasm, Cementos, and Vlad who put 100,000 yen, each on the heroes. Well, as fun as this was, I have a date tonight, Midnight says. Same. Sho finally has a night off for a date. I'm dragging him on one before the detective can call him for an emergency patrol or something. That gets the appropriate amount of cooing from all but All Might, who knows Hisashi is full of shit. At exactly midnight, they'll head into the facility and get themselves sorted out. And then, well, then it's showtime. Chapter 16. Shota wakes on the day of the exam early and goes out to the kitchen. Really early. So early it should have been a crime. 12 a.m. early. But they need time in order to get themselves set up. The exercise starts when they commit their first crime. Before that, they have to get ready. Shota had seen the hero team training most of the day, and while Bakugo, Ida, and Kirishima had tried to convince their team to turn in for bed early, he knows he saw several more than normal staying up late. And if he had been less strict about bedtime, that's perfectly within the rules. Meanwhile, most of the villain team had spent the day sleeping so they could get up in time to head out for the mission. Sneaking out their bedroom windows is child's play. So is meeting up with their 1B teammates and Hitoshi and Mei. They plan to strike at 3 a.m. Apparently the night owls go to bed at 2 a.m., so they'll be woken from sleep rather than being awake. That gives them 2 hours to bring their stuff to the hideout. It's slow going until Hisashi finally shows up, having had to drop something off with All Might before coming, at which point the truck that Shota is too terrified to ask how Mei made is able to be used. None of them have a license for trucks except Hisashi. The rest of them learn to drive motorcycles and ATVs. Again, he's not going to ask how she made those. He doesn't want to know. At all. Nope. He just hopes it was legal. They get the base set up and they split into their groups. Remember, Team Arson, you go first and set the fire to the 3 office buildings clustered at the northernmost point of the city. Todoroki nods with Monoma next to him and Momo slightly behind. Once we see the heroes in sight, we will relay how many came to us, he says. Once he does that, it's my turn in the west side of the city, with Hananuki, Kaibara says. Yes. Team Sinkhole will target some of the residential homes containing the R-level citizens, then call out over comms who came over to us. Which is Team Robbery's cue to rob the bank in the east side, Kendo says, clapping Iwase and Yanagi on the shoulders. Pony, Komori, and I will remain close by base in case you need to send us out to back up a team, Kororo says. Mei and I will be keeping an eye on things from here. Make sure everything goes smoothly and recalibrating as we go. Team Stealth, Midoriya asks. Hitoshi and I will be ready to go as soon as we know where all the heroes are, Shota says. Which is my job, to watch and make sure that all the heroes are where they're supposed to be. Once I know where everyone is, I can queue up Team Stealth for their act, Hisashi says. Good. Mike, get into position. You too, Team Stealth. Remember, in and out. And this is for all of you. Keep in constant contact and tell me if you need help. No one try to be a hero, Midoriya says with a smirk. After all, we are the villains. All right, listeners, this concludes Chapter 16 of Call Our Crimes a Work of Art. Chapter 17 will be up next. I hope you all are still enjoying this fic. I really like that the author shifts POVs a lot, so we get things from Mike's perspective too. In Chapter 15, I thought that was really great. I'm eager to hear your overall thoughts and reactions, though, and as always, thank you so much for listening.